Etude number 2 is difficult for trombone because it's in the key of A, which has a lot of second positions and some fifth positions. If we were in B flat, then we would be up a half step and we'd have a lot of first positions, which gives us a very good point of reference. If you don't know your A major scale, you're going to have a very hard time playing this etude. So the first order of business is to feel comfortable in the key of A. So just try your A major scale. Make sure you can do that first and memorize that, get the feel of it in your arm. I like to say every key has its own flavor in a way. And the key of A has a lot of these fifth position switches in your arm. So once you're comfortable in the key of A, it's very important to play in tune as you go through this etude. I like to tune in context. And what I mean by that is start at the beginning and choose one note that you're going to focus on. Right now, we're going to do the F sharp. It's in the third bar. As you know, playing F sharp on trombone, you have to play it out in fifth position, which can be very difficult to find. So here's how to do it, is first you cue up your tuner. Next, play from the beginning up to the note in question. In this case, it's F sharp. And when you get to the F sharp, hold it and have a look at your tuner and see where you're at. I was just a tiny bit high approaching that F sharp. The contextual tuning like this is very meaningful to a trombone player because how the note is approached on the slide may determine where you end up for that note. Now, it shouldn't matter if you're going out or coming in with your slide, but as trombone players, you know that it kind of does. So you need to know what your tendencies are. In other words, when you're going out to fifth, are you always sharp? Or are you overshooting, or are you flat? If you know that, you have a better chance of fixing whatever that problem is. In this etude, you have a few moments where breath marks are actually printed. When you have printed breath marks, you should observe them, even if you don't agree with them or if you don't need the breath. Go ahead and take the breath anyway. You will need other breaths, in addition to the ones that are marked here. In order to determine where to breathe, look for a long note. This is good advice for any music. Breathe after a long note. The reason for that is the amount of time it takes to breathe will be subtracted from the note that precedes the breath. That's why it's hard to breathe in the middle of a lot of 16th notes, because you don't really have time. But in this case, you have a couple of very good opportunities to breathe. For example, at the end of bar 6th, you have a really nice spot where I would definitely breathe. I'm going to start in bar 5 with the pickup to show you this. Very natural to breathe there. In bar 9, you have eighth notes that have tenuto marks over them. And what the tenuto mark means is don't play these eighth notes too short. And especially at this slower tempo, they should have a little more length. If you play them too short, it'll sound too cut off and it won't be very musical.